The Deputy President William Samoei Ruto emerged as the biggest winner in the just concluded Juja parliamentary by-election, despite the fact that his party did not participate in that election. Moses Kuria and his candidates won that seat. And the biggest losers in that election were President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was defeated in his own county by his own member of parliament, Rafael Tojo, the Secretary General of Jubilee Party, and David Murabe. But William Samoei Ruto, despite the fact that he was the biggest winner, is facing serious headache after that election. So in this video today, I want us to look at the new and emerging challenges which William Samoei Ruto is facing and are actually giving him sleepless nights. But before we do all those, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want you to do me a favor today because it's a weekend. Just give this video a thumbs up. Now let us get back to serious business. President Uhuru Kenyatta emerged as the biggest loser in the just concluded Juja parliamentary by-election. And in one of my videos, What Next for President Uhuru Kenyatta, I opined that number one, President Uhuru Kenyatta must reinvent himself in Kiamba. He must ensure that he wins in Kiamba. Without reinventing himself in Kiamba, he's going to be a lame duck president if he's going to be defeated in Kiamba again. Number two, I also opined that the president must fire or change his advisors. The likes of Murabe are not doing much for the president. And I also suggested that the president should actually create checkmates to check on the rebels from the larger Mount Kenya region. Someone like Ndindi Nyoro needs someone to checkmate. Someone like Alice Wahome needs someone to checkmate. And I also concluded that the president needed to start going to the ground personally so that he can listen to the issues the people of the larger Mount Kenya region have with him. Because let's face it, there is no way you can vote for a president 3 times. And then in his last term, you suddenly just decide to hate him. I mean, it can't happen and it has never happened. So the president needs to go down and try and understand the issues with the people. But William Samoei Ruto, who emerged as the winner, is actually not celebrating. That by-election has exposed a lot of undercurrents within the larger Mount Kenya region. And these are some of the issues which are giving William Ruto sleepless nights. Number one is the turnout. What was the turnout in Juja? In Juja, the turnout was 18%. The question is, why was the turnout low? Rigathi Gachagua explained that the turnout was low because the voters in that region were intimidated. So they failed to turn up. If that's what happened, then what is going to happen in the general election? Someone will just decide to go and intimidate these voters and they will not turn out to vote. The truth and the fact of the matter is that President Uhuru Kenyatta got over 90% of the larger Mount Kenya region. That's the honest truth. The turnout was almost 99%. Those are the truths. We can't argue with the fact. So for William Samoei Ruto to succeed as the next president of the Republic of Kenya, he must get at least 80% of the larger Mount Kenya votes. Now let's assume that those who voted for Moses Kuria's candidate were actually the real hustlers. What was their turnout? The turnout was 18%. What does that mean? It means there's nothing which is going to motivate the voters from the larger Mount Kenya region to turn out to vote. Probably because they don't have a presidential candidate, probably because they've been failed by the successive government, and probably there's nothing they're going to lose if they don't turn out to vote. So William Ruto must start figuring out how he's going to ensure that in the next election, the turnout is going to be high. He's going to ensure that just like President Uhuru Kenyatta did, those who are sick and are admitted at the hospitals, ambulances will be waiting for them somewhere and ferry them to the polling stations, and then they are returned. I don't know whether the people of the larger Mount Kenya region would want to go to that length just to protect or to vote for William Samoei Ruto, because they won't have a serious presidential candidate. So that's something which I know in his mind is really disturbing him. Let's face it, out of those turnout, which were very few, only 57% voted for their candidate, which means they've already gone below. They've already gone below the figure of 85% which the deputy president needs, because Raila Odinga only needs how much? 30% percentage. Raila Odinga only needs 30% from the larger Mount Kenya region for him to succeed, because 30% from the larger Mount Kenya region is enough to cater for the other votes which will be going away for him. So the deputy president is really worried about the turnout. Number two is the numbers. Politics is a game of numbers. That's the honest truth. From the turnout, something should be disturbing or worrying the DP. Only 12,000 people out of 114,000 turned out to vote. And I was asking myself a question. Is there really something that we don't know? That probably in Juja, the actual registered voters were not 114,000. That those votes were either inflated or IBC played with the figures just to raise them. Because in Bonchari, the registered voters were around 56. The turnout was good, was not very bad, because the Jubilee candidate got 6,000, some 900. The Jubilee candidate got 7,000. The ODM candidate got 8,000. That's already 15,000. Then you add to the United Democratic Alliance Party, who almost got close to 7,000. So that's almost be over more than the vote, the number from Juja. So politics is about numbers, real numbers first, and then perceived numbers. So we are now talking of real numbers. Do we really have the real numbers in the larger Mount Kenya region? Or is it possible, just like it has always happened, in 2007, for example, Tharaka Nithi, which registered 30,000 voters, voted for Kibaki 90,000 people. So the figures were inflated 3 times. It's possible. It can happen. Because remember, ODM did not have agents there. Their agents were not allowed anywhere to even monitor the voting, to monitor the counting. So that's something which should worry the deputy president. As long as he will not get the numbers from the larger Mount Kenya region, his ambition of becoming the president is actually not there. Number 3, the third thing which is giving Ruto the biggest headache is the possibility of a Mount Kenya presidential candidate. Let me ask you, Justin Muturi is being coronated today. The question I'm asking myself is very, very simple. Is he being prepared as a running mate, or is he being prepared as a potential presidential candidate? What about Moses Kuria? Moses Kuria is falling out with the deputy president. They're reading from different script as we speak. In Kiambaa, they are going to compete against each other. If Moses Kuria is going to win against the deputy president, that's going to mark the end. If Moses Kuria is going to lose against the DP, it's also going to mark the end of that affair. Will Moses Kuria then prepare himself to work with Raila? Or will Moses Kuria decide to run as a presidential candidate? And if he's going to run as a presidential candidate, which people are going to vote for him? The people who would have otherwise voted for the deputy president, Ruto, will automatically vote for Moses Kuria. So his numbers are going to go down. So the mere fact that there's a possibility that Mount Kenya can produce a presidential candidate is a big headache. Remember, there's a saying in this country that the Mount Kenya people will always vote for one of their own. Justin Muturi contesting would mean Meru, Tarakas, and Embu will vote for him. Then again, he can get a few from the Kikuyus. So those are the facts. And Ruto is well aware of this. Number 4 is the scramble for Kingpin. And this is what is causing division within William Ruto's camp. The common enemy was President Uhuru Kenyatta. So they've managed to make Uhuru a lame duck president. Let's assume it has happened that way. Now, these guys are now fighting amongst themselves. There is Rigathi Gachagua. A Dio will always be a Dio, according to Moses Kuria. Then there is Moses Kuria, and then there is the third guy, Mwangi Kiunjuri. I don't know whether a fourth person is going to emerge. So these three people are scrambling to be the next kingpin of the larger Mount Kenya region. And because they are scrambling to be the next kingpin, the fact of the matter is that they are causing a problem for the DP. They might decide to enter into another coalition with someone else. These guys might decide that they are not going to support the DP. Or if the DP is going to choose Moses Kuria as the running mate, Rigathi Gachagua or Mwangi Kiunjuri might decide to rebel. If he's going to choose Mwangi Kiunjuri, someone like Moses Kuria might decide to take a walk because he believes he already has the numbers. And the fourth headache, the last headache, number 5, is Uhuru Kenyatta reaction. How is Uhuru Kenyatta reacting to the loss in Juja? Is he taking it lightly? That's the question. And if he's not taking it lightly, what are some of his next moves? The truth of the matter is that the president was not very happy with the outcome in Juja. And the fact that he was not happy with the outcome in Juja means the president is not going to take the Kiambaba election lightly. So basically, the president is likely to start going to the ground. He is likely to start reinventing himself. He is likely to start checkmating some of these people. The president is likely to go back to the people of the larger Mount Kenya region and appeal to them to forgive him. The truth of the matter is that in politics, a day is a long time. President Uhuru Kenyatta still has over 400 days to correct any mistakes, any wrongs, which he might have committed against the people of the larger Mount Kenya region. And even the people of the larger Mount Kenya region might come back to their senses that this is their guy and they are embarrassing him. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. The question is, do you think William Samoei Ruto is going to persuade the people of the larger Mount Kenya region to turn out in their large numbers to vote for him like even 80% or 90%, the way they did for Kibaki, the way they did for Uhuru? Will the deputy president do that? For Kibaki, in the second term, they voted for Kibaki to the last man to preserve the presidency. Uhuru Kenyatta, in the first term, they voted for him to ensure that it's not taken to the Hague and also to stop Raila Odinga. In the second term, they wanted to retain the presidency in the House of Mumbi because they were not sure whether they are going to get it in future. What about Ruto? Is there something which will persuade the people of the larger Mount Kenya region to turn out in their large numbers the way they did for Kibaki and even for Uhuru Kenyatta? I don't think these guys are going to be persuaded based on the results from Juja, even based on the results from the other general elections. People of the larger Mount Kenya region are always known in this country to be very conscious about voting. You can't compare them to Kisis, Luos, and even lawyers when it comes to even by-election. But for the first time, we are not seeing them turning out to vote. Will they turn out to vote for Ruto? Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.